Congratulations, Benny and Sheree. My name is Jay James, and I met you all back in 1991 at Fairfax Covenant Church. And, the story has God's fingerprints all over it. At the time you met me, it was just to be on a basketball team, but God used it for so much more. And in 1991, I was at a place as a young man that my parents had just split up. There was a lot going on in my life, in the life of our family. And I told my mother that I wanted to play Little League basketball. I'd played football the majority of my childhood, but now I wanted to enter into basketball. And so she signed me up for a team. And it turns out that the team was coached by John Padgett, Mark Walker, and Benny Phillips. And little did I know the blessing that it would be to me at that time in my life. Also, at the same time, my mother had expressed a desire to move from the house that we were in to a new one. And our new landlords were Donna and Luke Steichleather. And they attended Fairfax Covenant Church, where Benny, obviously, you were pastoring in 1991. So my first practice, I was excited. I get invited to one of the coaches' houses. It was Benny and Sheree's house. So we go and we have a practice, and when my mother comes to pick me up, she sees Sheree wearing a sweatshirt that said Fairfax Covenant Church. And it was at that point that my mom knew there was something to this. And so we started coming to the church, and God just really blessed us. In 1992, I came to the Lord in that church. And God just really ministered to my mother and the things that she was going through, entering into a divorce. And God put godly men like John Padgett, Mark Walker, and Benny Phillips around me. But the true blessing for me personally was just being around the family. Forging relationships with Josh, who was my age, and Jamie. But even watching the family and everybody in there, from Jesse and Joey and Janelle and Jake and Julia, and just being in that environment of a godly home and receiving the love of Christ from your family blessed me tremendously. And it blessed my family for us to be a part of this church. And we're just grateful for what God has done in you and through you. All of the times that I got to come over to the house and Josh and I would play video games late, or just being in a godly environment at a time in my life when I really needed to see that example. And God used you to give it to me. And He used you to bless and to really minister to our family at a difficult time. And from there we grew up in the church. And I'm grateful that I had a church that I could grow up in with all the other things I could have been doing as a teenager. So there's so much we could say. We love you guys. We are so grateful for how you served our family and how God used you. And we will never forget it. And you will always be in our hearts. And so on behalf of my sister Angel, my younger sister Lisa, my beloved dear mother Phyllis, and my father too, John James Sr., we say thank you. We're grateful first to God, but we thank you guys, and we want you to know that we truly appreciate how God used you in our lives. God bless you, and congratulations.